Starting and recording. Hi everyone, welcome. We're super excited to have you here for our webinar. Today's event is all about making your website awesome, and we've got a lot of things to cover today. While attendees are still joining us, let's start with a quick introductions, and please let us know in the webinar chat where you're from and if you can see and hear us well. Yeah, we already have 13 people joined. Hi everyone. Hello Arvin. From beautiful city of Appledorn. Cambridge, UK. Wow, thanks for joining. Vienna. Hi Dennis. Thanks Arvin. While people still joining us, answering questions where they're from, I also would like to mention that we will have not only a record of this webinar session, but we have a special present for our attendees. For those who submit their email address on our landing page, we will share with you also our ultimate website usability checklist that our business analysts use internally for evaluating our projects, and you can easily check your website usability state using this document. So please, if you don't leave your email yet, you can write it also in our webinar chat, and after the session you will get both webinar record and ultimate website usability checklist. I guess we'll wait a couple of minutes for other people to join us. We already have like 20 people in our session. And let's wait a little bit more. Hi, Sinem. I see our existing clients and partners are also here. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope this webinar will be useful for you and will engage you to new projects, and hopefully we'll have more webinars also with your team. So yeah, I guess we can start, and those who will join us later, they will see a recap of introduction in the recording. So yeah, now I'm happy to introduce you our today's co-host, Peter Birdshaw, president of Wittenborg University of Applied Science, our dear customer. Peter, I know that you have an incredible background as a business education enthusiast in Netherlands and globally. We just discussed your globalization forum, if I remember correctly. Please share a little bit about your experience with our guests too.
Hello, yes, my name's Peter Birdsall. I'm president of Wittenborg University of Applied Sciences, which is a business school in the Netherlands. We're actually the most international business school in the Netherlands because we don't actually have any programs in Dutch. We're fully English. We've got 1,500 students from over 100 different countries at any one time. We're offering bachelor programs in business administration across a very wide range of subject areas. and MBAs. We've got about 12 or 13 different specialized MBAs and Master of Science programs. Again, also all in Master of Business Management in about 14 different areas. Now, because we're so international, for us, our international outreach is really very important to us. And we've been developing our internationalization, our particular brand, since, 2008. And that's the stage we're at now. So, and I'm sure we'll tell you more about that during today's session. Thank you, Stan.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Talking about myself, I'm Stan, head of sales here at AnyforSoft. I've been into digital transformation projects for past 12 years in different areas like education, ed tech, fintech, and digital media. And today I would like to describe our project for Wittenborg University from both like business and tech perspectives. So during our presentation, feel free to leave your questions in the chat, and later in the final part of our event, we will try together with Peter to answer all of them. Good. So since we meet each other, let's jump into the webinar agenda. Let me quickly introduce you to the webinar content. We will start with a quick intro to our friends at Wittenborg. Peter will elaborate more on their current achievements and future plans, where, as Peter mentioned, they're all about making education global. Then we say a few words about AnyforSoft team, as we are those tech wizards behind the curtain who making website magic happen. Then we make a brief overview of the project background and motivation to move with the website redesign and UX improvements. The next part reveals the impact with tangible results that speak volumes. It will be real talk on how a new look can totally boost user engagement, enrollment rates, and overall student satisfaction from using website and website materials. Then we will have a closer look at how we specifically enhance Wittenborg's online presence. At first glance, we'll discover some layout tips, which will be useful for many of our attendees, how you can keep your students engaged with help of synchronized layouts. After that, I will share the best practices and easy tips for keeping your education content fresh and fabulous. And an example of Wittenborg's online presence and UX improvements will cover how to make your website friendly for everyone and literally everywhere. In the closing part, I will share all the cool small improvements that we made, but they make a big difference in digital enrollment and web marketing efficiency. When I finish with all of the slides, we'll have a segment dedicated to you, our dear guests. As I mentioned, you can leave your questions in the webinar chat, and we will answer them in the end of the session. In the final slide, we'll tell you how to keep connected for more insights and tips. I highly recommend you to stay for this part, because Wittenborg and Peter personally have, I think, incredible social media profiles. They were educative and funny. For those, you can really learn a lot about how to communicate with your students through the social media channels. Personally, I already follow all of them, including TikTok and Instagram. And I have to say that I love it, and I hope you will love it too. Okay, so let's start our journey. Peter, please, stage is yours. A few words more about Wittenborg.
Yeah, right. So to put it into more perspective for everybody, Wittenborg University of Applied Sciences was started in 1987, and it was a predominantly Dutch business school, very regional, very small, focusing on on banking and insurance and real estate management. Now, when we when I say we, Wittenborg is quite unique because it's actually one of the only remaining family-owned foundation universities of applied sciences or business schools, at least in the Netherlands. When we took over in 2008, we predominantly decided to focus on internationalization. It's taken us since then to get to where we are now, with quite a rapid growth every year of about between 5 and 10% student growth. Of course, student growth will start to slow down as we get towards our target level, which is around 2,500 students in total. Now, as I explained, we offer about probably in total 35 different programs in Bachelor of Business Administration, Master of Business Management, and Master of Business Administration. And so we've got a wide range of students coming from all around the world in age ranges from 18 to well, I suppose our older students probably in their 60s. But the average age is around 25. Now, when we started on this journey back in 2008, and possibly also a little bit before then, when we started developing programs already in the Netherlands, I think that we were part of a revolution, a digital revolution that enabled a lot of schools, but also in other sectors, for instance, the hospitality sector, to engage with customers that they would normally not be able to engage with. And I think that that's where our original focus and our original unique selling point lay, was the fact that we could quickly communicate with a large range of people from around the world. So once we established the fact that we would want to be only English speaking and only focusing on international students, then we came into another dilemma, which was, do we only want to be Chinese students, or do we only want to be Indian students, or do we only want to have students from one particular nation? Now, it's really quite difficult to always manage that successfully, but through good digital marketing and good digital reach, it is possible to actually reach to other parts of the planet where you might not normally for your customers. And so that was one of our big strategic goals. And another thing you have to do as an independent school within a state-run system like the Netherlands is you have to create a lot of goodwill, and you have to create a lot of trust in all of your peer groups. And I think that that's something that we have as a school been working on in the past years, and we're currently double accredited as a business school. We're in the latter stages of our AACSB accreditation, which is the big mother of all accreditation systems, the American run AACSB. So and those systems do require that you have not only an academic profile, but that you also have a research profile and a societal impact profile. Our research profile is based around our three pillars, which are internationalization, diversity, and ethics. And the overarching theme is globalization. And so you can probably get a feel of how our website is going to be developed in that aspect as well. I hope that's given you a little insight into Wittenborg. You can see some wonderful pictures in the slide there. They're all of our students. I mean, they're not all of our students. They are all our students. We never use pictures of anybody else except for the people actually associated with Wittenborg. So hopefully that's given you a good insight into what we're going to be presenting you today. from a website point of view.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for your insights. And I think it also worth to mention that you have two campuses. One of them is brand new, and our CEO last year visited your new campus, and it was amazing, brand new and open space for students. So
They're based in Amsterdam, not only
yeah.
in Africa. Right, yeah, exactly.
Going ahead and talking a few words about AnyforSoft. We here at AnyforSoft, we are all about using tech to make education awesome. With 12 years in a game, we're gotten really good at making tools that make learning process better and more diverse and accessible globally. Keep these things running smoothly for business schools, universities, and colleges all around the world. We built all kind of cool stuff for education domain, like classical corporate websites, digital enrollment system, custom learning management systems, e-learning platforms, and all sort of systems and internal portals to keep track on students' information. We're also super proud of our work in other domains like fintech, especially since big logos like Verifone, which is also multinational, multi-language corporation that has multiple versions of their website and speak different languages in terms of their online presence. Plus, we're rocking a high rating on Clutch, making us one of the top digital agencies for educational institutions. And we are in the top 3 leadership metrics for Drupal CMS, but we also can do any type of projects related to WordPress or any custom solution. So finishing with introductions, now let's dive a bit deeper into the goals that we have in our project. Some of them Peter already mentioned. And here are also some challenges that we have to overcome. Firstly, I have to say that starting project with Wittenborg was unusual for us. Unusual for this perspective because their website was already in a good shape, not like in our regular situation where we need to save higher education institution from some legacy stuff. It was already attractive. It was already good performing. But if I remember correctly, the first version of website Peter created by himself. Is it true, Peter?
Yeah, Well, this is one of the things that that was Well, I mean, the first website, the very first websites we created ourselves. I mean, but actually, I mean, if I go back to the 1990s, so I'm an amateur Linux user, and if I go back to the 1990s, then I do remember at quite large state universities of applied sciences and education institutes in, let's say, 1994, 1995, the websites for those universities were created by the technical staff whose hobby it was also to make web pages. So it doesn't. I mean, it seems a bit unusual if you're president of a business school of 1,500 students and you made your first website at the school. But actually, going back in history, it's not that long ago when schools and companies didn't have websites, and if they did have them, it would be maybe just a few pages, and a lot of those would have been hard coded. I mean, they would have been just written in HTML. And because I very much remember that right in the beginning, and if we go back to the first websites we ever built, which was in 2002 and 3, we actually had somebody who wrote a content management system to manage the website. The very first websites in using databases and using PHP and using interactive tools to actually make them. Yeah. And so if you had people in your organization who could muck about, let's say, then most websites came out of that, and it was only very later that we started, outsourcing to more professional people to create our websites. And our webmaster, who's with us today still, Dennis, has created most of our websites in the past 15 years, basically, internally.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. All right. So first off, based on this input, we had to look at how to boost existing website, checking out what's already there, and how we can jazz it up. We really focused on making things easier and smoother for everyone, for every stakeholder in online journey, not only students, but also internal staff who's managing content website, and how to make navigating a breeze and cutting everything out that's necessary in the customer journey to simplify and make it really intuitive. But hey, we all know things change, and especially when it comes to what you want to share with your audience, with your students, with other organization, and keeping your website content fresh and up to date is super important, especially for business schools and universities who have a lot of updates from month to month, from year to year. And getting into the details during the discovery phase, because we started with the discovery to analyze what's already in place in Wittenborg in terms of web presence. And it was a really game changer for us because it helped us get everyone in the project team on the same page and make sure we're all mean the same awesome results, and we have the same understanding what is awesome result is. And Peter's team, Peter himself, Sinem and Dennis helped us a lot to take this background tone of voice of Wittenborg to bring it directly to website appearance. So we really enjoyed the whole project and discovery phase specifically. So let's talk about what we aim to achieve with our digital solution for Wittenborg. Our objectives are crafted with the user in mind, with the student in mind, internal admins, marketing team, ensuring that both stakeholders have a seamless, efficient, and accessible experience. So first, we committed to making course information easily visible and accessible. Yeah, specifically, since accessibility is one of the measures that should be compliant according to local laws. I guess at any country there are specific requirements from government in terms of accessibility. And of course, from business perspective, no matter where your students from or what device they're using, there should be the same quality and accessibility of the content. Whether you're on a laptop at a coffee shop or on your phone in the library or just traveling from one city to another, you will have all the information you need right at your fingertips. This means less time searching of course data or less time dealing with some unresponsive design elements. And as if I remember correctly, one of the first challenges that Peter told us and Dennis highlighted, it was access from low internet connections, from old version browsers, from old version mobile devices, etc. So we need to put every design, every piece of content part together to make sure that all of them have equal access to educational materials and information about Wittenborg. Next, we understand the importance of a smooth start of educational journey to make it simple as it could be. That's why we focused on ensuring students' enrollment is an intuitive, as simple as possible. So the simple way, if you can, as you can notice, even from webinar invitation homepage, we put a big button, get more information right on the homepage. So this is really the first thing that you see on the website, and you can easily communicate with Wittenborg team to learn more. It's very simple and easy to apply. We also know that content on your website need to stay fresh and engaging, as I mentioned. So our solution facilitates the easy updates of marketing and learning materials. It's that Peter mentioned on previous times when a website was just hard-coded. It was only impossible to add and refresh information by yourself, by non-coding, by business personas at your university. Each time you just have to engage with development team and put this piece of code to update something. In our project, we aim to deliver complete experience of adding materials at hook when you need it. Let's say on the next day, marketing team can have updated information, landing page, event page, etc. Lastly, we empower Wittenberg's University with staff with direct access to website functionality. This means that they can introduce improvements and updates without needing to go through exactly with delivery team each time, like I mentioned. It's all about giving control over website functionality to those who know what they would like to have on the website. And as we discussed it with Peter, how they said, Peter, you need to place another hat on your head, yeah, to understand how other users think about it.
Yeah, this is really important to understand the distinction between a higher education, an international higher education institute's website, and maybe other companies or other organisations, or possibly also other schools that maybe have a. Hang on, I've just got to switch my light here because it's just gone off. There we are. See, energy saving is also a really big part of running any business school, and so the concept of having different hats on when you look at a website, if it's providing what is fundamentally a societal product like higher education and a business school education. You want to make your website attractive so that it recruits new students, but it must also not be a hard-on sales website, because that puts students off as well. Students need to gain trust. They need to feel that they are engaging with an institute that has that has depth and has an understanding of their ambition and their ideals. And at the same time, your website needs to be able to communicate to maybe more administrative people. So, for instance, if you're under state control, even in the way that we are state accredited and falling under the Ministry of Education and the Inspectorate of Education, those people are going to go to your website with a more of an administrative auditing point of view. So to see whether you're not selling something to people which you shouldn't sell, whether your terminology is correct, whether you're communicating in a correct way. I'll give you an example. In the Netherlands, we have an enormous housing shortage, and you have to make sure that students know that that it's not easy to get student accommodation, but even though you provide student accommodation, but maybe under some circumstances you can't. So, for instance, in our Amsterdam campus, we can't guarantee accommodation. In our Apeldoorn campus, we can. So that needs to be transmitted through a website. And so you're going to get people with different hats coming on there. You'll also get accreditation panels that go onto the website to make sure that the programs that they're accrediting are the programs that you actually offer. It's a lot of these aspects come into the fact that you've got more stakeholders involved in your product development or your product control than a normal company would have with their website. I'll give you one more example, and that is, for instance, if you're developing a research theme and a research output, then people need to be able to go and find that part without being constantly confronted with advertising to sign up for an MBA or advertising to sign up for an MSc program. And then finally, I personally believe that higher education institutes also have a role to play in informing the public and promoting debate about issues that are going on in the world, and so therefore a good news channel that's integrated into your website we see as an essential part. So this is the different hats, and I think a lot of the people involved in higher education will agree with me on this.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. That's so true. And personally, I would agree with every word. Yeah, so let's see what's the result of overcoming such challenges and complete those goals. So yeah, let me switch to another slide. And here we have the impact of the site redesign. Let's talk about what happened once we launched a new version of the website, and it seems all good news for Wittenborg. First off, the site performance. We have top-notch result from Google Lighthouse. So that means the website is quick on both phones and computers, and specifically for website ranking and search engine optimization. Nowadays, it's crucially important to have a high rates in mobile performance. And we got it like 90 points out of 100. It's one of the best results, not only like in Netherlands education domain, but among all of the websites in Netherlands, making Wittenborg website like in a top 10% among all of the websites, and make it easy to search from search engines. It's some kind of turbocharge of the website to the top level. Then there is a homepage that we upgraded. It's now super inviting for students for sign up to communicate with Wittenborg, really displaying this global tone of voice for the students, and everything about finding courses and getting through the application is smooth and sailing. So what's in the big picture? This redesign that we made, it isn't just about a fresh look and a fresh design. It's about making everything work better in terms of user experience, in terms of access to information, in terms of content management and overall website performance, how students, staff, and search robots see it. It's really a game changer for the whole content delivery process, not like in the moment when we presented a brand new website, but for the future growth that we're working right now together with Wittenborg team. Peter, would you like to add a couple of words that you already know, that you already noticed from Wittenborg students and staff feedback since the new version was launched?
Yeah, well, I think I think in my experience after all these 30 years in higher education and advertising international education through websites, I think the biggest thing is that there was no negative feedback whatsoever, and I mean that's quite an important aspect. It's the problem is if you go out there trying to get positive feedback, you'll always get it from the people who want to be positive, but you won't. But even after having launched it we launched it at last autumn. It's just only had some good feedback. What we have seen is that our cost of sales has gone down, so we're getting more student inquiries now than we ever had before. Whilst our online advertising costs have actually not increased. I think that that's probably because of the fact that the site is definitely more attractive. One of the things that we got the feedback of was that it was more accessible from China, which is not a big target country for us when it comes to students, but certainly when it comes to partner institutes. So it was good to test that out myself last autumn, and so what I do think is that it's done is it's created a much more professional feel about it. It's in a funny sort of way. Every new website feels better than the last one, but I do think that this one has taken us to a stage where the functionality is all working as it should, and it allows us with confidence to give many departments and many people who don't normally work in websites the opportunity to manage their own pages without us worrying that they're going to break something or that they're going to upload coding or text that will ruin parts of the website. So we've actually been able to allow different departments in the Institute to be more autonomous when it comes to managing their own parts of the website with their own information, which has always been a goal, but it was always something we were very wary about when the site was not, let's say, as robust as this one is now.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. We're really happy to hear such feedback from our customers, and as I mentioned, the results. It's not only like brand new website just for only website. It affects the whole collaboration interaction process with the students. And now I'd like to tell more how we gain such result on the next slide. Firstly, I want to share some tips about layout solutions that we applied. So we decided to keep things simple, but at the same time effective by sticking to one layout. We made sure that no matter what device you're on, the experience is the same. So instead of creating and extending code base for each of device, we use one simple layout that easily adapted to any screen resolution and any device. As Peter mentioned, from content management perspective, you no longer need to be scared of adding and break the whole user experience and the whole interface. Actually, layout prevents you for making such changes and make you sure that every new design or every new page will follow the same layout and will look as you wish, as you see it in the preview mode. And it's all about making things feel familiar and easy to navigate when you see the same layouts, the same styles. It doesn't distract you, and you can intuitively understand where will be the next piece of content that you are looking for, no matter from what device, or is it laptop, or is it tablet, or mobile phone. And talking more, what we actually do, sorry, which is a theme that loves mobiles and desktop as much as we do, ensuring that the website doesn't just work on mobile. It really shines and it doesn't distract customers. It's really engaging and help students in their main goal to get direct access to the needed information, not only to make kind of sales-oriented things, as Peter mentioned. So we made sure that the layout looks and feels the same across all of the platform. And what payoff we get an ultimate mobile experience and websites that's breeze to search through, engage to search more information, not only open it on a mobile device. I hope some of our rotators know this. When you see this bounce rate statistic from mobile devices, it actually shows you that people open a mobile version, understands that it just doesn't work for them, and they went out from your website directly from the home page or other pages, doesn't matter. But when you provide this seamless mobile experience, it's really engage your audience to investigate more information right in the place where they're right now. They may be walk through your campus near your university and business schools, and right on their way they can check all the information. And it's actually that thing that will help you streamline your conversion rate. So moving ahead and talking about, yeah, it's actually a new view of website and mobile homepage of Wittenborg's website. And talking about content management, we mentioned it multiple times. It's crucial. It's very important to have this possibility directly make changes from the wide range of stakeholders that involved in process of in educational process. It's like marketing materials, events, course materials, MBA program description, you name it. There are a lot of contents that you need to manage for every educational organization. So we wanted to cut down the hassle and make it quicker and easier for admins for both system and business admins to keep the website up to date and looking sharp. Don't make students ask, like, send me extra material on email. They can really get access to every piece of information by themselves online. And first, we gave the website a major upgrade to the latest and I think the greatest version of Drupal ever, Drupal 10. Why? Because it's like switching from older version of your phone to latest smartphone version, brand new one. So it runs smoother, much faster, and just makes life easier of each stakeholder. Yeah, you don't need to find some old patches. And at the same time, it makes your web platform more secure, because we understand when you're running something on an older version, there are always more possibilities for data breach, and in the opposite, in the newest up-to-date version of any platform, and Drupal specifically, you will get all of the benefits and security patch of the new version. So what's the result? Wittenborg University now has a website that not just easy to manage in terms of content, in terms of structure, but also brings the world closer through the universal access. And as Peter mentioned, one of the tasks was to make video content accessibility all over the world. In China specifically, where YouTube blocked, and for those countries where they have, like, let's say, mobile internet connection on a very low level, but still all of them have access to needed video materials, because we understand that, like, younger generations, that they expect to have more interactive and video materials than just long reading text. They engage in them more, and so because of this, they have access to those materials in those format of this information that they expect. We don't push them to read and access information only in one static format. Peter, could you please elaborate more on why video content and its global accessibility is so important for learning process right now? You're on mute, Peter.
Video, yeah, thanks, Dan. Yeah, video is definitely the new, but it really has taken hold as the way to communicate things to a fast digitalizing audience. I mean, we noticed that videos can get a message across if they're well made and short, much faster than pages of text. It's an interesting thought that we're actually now starting to record our appendixes to our accreditation processes. So you can imagine accreditation documents. You have self-assessment documents of maybe 25, 30 pages, and then by the time that auditors come to look at your programs or your institute, they start asking for appendixes. And so you can talk a business school the size of ours has probably 500 to 600 different documents that support its core ideas. And we're now starting to actually make short videos that explain the key points of an appendix so that they can then also be used to show what you do. I always say you should do what you say and show what you do. And that's a video is a great mechanism to do that. Now, then comes the website. Well, the website is a fantastic mechanism to show videos, and I think just like a lot of other schools, we've relied on YouTube and Vimeo and things like that to show our videos to the world, and we have a lot of videos uploaded to YouTube channels. Now, as you all know, the financial model for sites like YouTube sadly does mean that if you want to embed your video that you've uploaded to YouTube into your website, it might not get shown in the way that you want it to be shown. And whatever happens when it's being shown, users will be enticed to either register or pay, and they will very quickly be shown videos maybe of your competitors, which is not quite what you want to do when you're trying to showcase yourself. So for that reason, and of course in some countries it's YouTube's just blocked, or if it's not blocked, it might be censored to such an extent that people can't access it. And so what we really wanted was to have a website where we could stream video directly from the website to our users without them having any interference about other things. But we didn't want to then change the system we were working with. So to be able to use a Drupal system that we understand, to use a platform that we can work with, and where we can actually publish the videos ourselves, that was the key. And that's one of the really important things that we've got out of updating our website, is that ability to be able to stream videos at a pretty decent quality rate as well. So yeah, it's the new world is definitely video orientated. There's no doubt about it. We
Yeah,
have a
thanks, Peter. Completely agree with you.
yeah.
Okay, moving ahead, as we have we need to have some time for Q&A session. Let's talk about extra tweaks that we made to the Wittenborg University website that reveals how even small changes can significantly enhance everyone's site experience. Yeah, because we're talking about everyone, like students, staff, and other website users. It's a little adjustments here and there that collectively make a huge impact that you seen on the slide with results that we got with the help of website redesign project. First off, we wind up with paragraph structure across all the page. So that means that we don't only applied layout as a general one layout as a general for a website. We created a paragraph structure that allows you to combine different paragraphs into new experiences, into new web designs. And this might sound like a small thing, but it means where you land, things feel familiar, making it easier to find your way around any web page that already exists on the website, or you will create it in the future. So not only like in a terms of layout, but each piece, if each block of content on this layout. So it could be event page, it could be new course page when you need to combine new information with the block. It will still be seamless design for your website visitors. Then we turned out attention to the mobile experience, which we talked a lot. And it also, as I mentioned, helped for website recognition and ranking about among search engine. And also talking about searching for information because of its mobile accessibility. Has also a major boost because we fine-tuned the search engine, internal search engine of the website, not a Google. So it's not just show you a piece of information that we have on the website, like to navigate, to get information, let's say from mobile device. Sorry, it was my cat. Just a quick technical moment. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're here. Oh, so we also update search navigation through mobile devices to make it really easy access, not only like design elements by search through the website from mobile device by itself. And from the tech magic perspectives, we streamline some custom HTML codes that already exist on the website by leaning into what the CMS, actually Drupal, can already do out of the box. This means the site doesn't just work better, it's also got sleek, polished looks that makes you want to explore it more. And not only from human beings, from user perspectives, but also from perspective of search robots. It's easier for them to navigate through the paragraphs and blocks of the standard CMS than walk through the piece of custom codes to extract information that you have on your website. So again, it helped a lot to increase digital marketing efficiency and SEO ranking. And yeah, all these improvements are all about making the Wittenborg website not just a place you go to get information, but a place you really enjoy visiting it. And I also highly recommend for every one of you to visit Wittenborg's site to have your own mention, your own experience navigating through the Wittenborg website. We have a link in our profile on this webinar. And yeah, I guess we have some time for Q&A session. So let me check our web chat. Meanwhile, please feel free, ask me and Peter any questions related to educational websites. And yeah, let me quickly check what we have in our web chat. What were the project timelines? I guess we started our first kickoff call in the end of July, and then discovery phase was in August, and the website launch was in November, I guess, Peter. Yeah, in November we rolled out.
Yeah, the timelines were absolutely astounding. I mean, it was we started in July, and the website was completely, I think it was launched in the beginning of November. So it was, yeah, it was even went online before then. It was, so I think there was like 12 to 14 weeks from start to finish, which was just, that was amazing. And I mean, in the Netherlands, it would take you 12 to 14 weeks to even come up with an idea. So this was really very impressive.
Yeah. It was quick, not only because of our experience and background in the education realm, but also Wittenborg team helped us a lot. So every our design, our solutions that we offered was uh, approved. So if you want a tip how to make your website or design project, one of the tips is to approve everything at hook since you get it from the project team.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else we have? Question for Peter. What is your attitude to AI chatbot as initial quick consultation on educational programs and scheduling a call with a real person? Do you think it's worth to consider AI?
Yeah, we've got a big discussion going on here, also within the executive management of the university. Now, um, I'm I'm quite I'm quite up to date with the development of AI. Um, I see, but I also see some issues. So the chatbots, which are AI. I mean, personally, they irritate me. Yeah, so I mean, I don't like talking to a machine. Um, and I often just play around with chatbots which are run through AI on websites to see how quickly I can determine whether it can help or not. And there are some big companies that are doing it. I can see the value. I can see the value um, for the basic questions. So if you've got a chatbot system which you can train to really understand answering the questions which generally come up a lot. Now, I think the tricky bit is when it gets to using AI to actually move students through the sales pipeline and through the application process. I personally don't see that if you will be able to totally non-humanize the final decision on admission to a university. I think there are too many issues there, ranging from visas and eligibility and payment and all the rest of it. But I think I can see in the future that chatbots. I think we have a basic chatbot system which we're experimenting with for the website, and I do see that there is an option there. I do think that you have got to be careful that you don't immediately commit to one system. I can see quite quickly that you can get locked into a system which you may be not happy with later on. So at the moment, it's still watching out what some other institutes do. My technique is always watching out what the top business schools in the world do, and then seeing if I can copy that in some way. So I think it's unstoppable, just like most AI solutions that are coming onto the market are unstoppable. But just be careful in what you choose at the moment. There have been examples of chatbots that get hacked and tell your customers nasty things about you as well. So there is a dark side to it. So you've got to be a bit careful. I would say always monitor what you're doing.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Andrew. From my experience and sales perspectives that we have right now with other institutions, they all confirm that you need to pay attention to replies of your chatbot, of your AI assistants, because it needs to keep tone of voice and don't make it in not an appropriate, unpolite way, because everyone want to have this personal approach. Yeah, instead of just was it information useful for you? Yeah, yes or no.
Yeah.
we all as a customers expect some personal touch. And I think we have like a last question to discuss before we have webinar time wrap up. How did you come up with the decision on the new appearance of the website? Did you and Peter work together on an initial concept and worked your way through? And other sources of inspiration? Just asking because it looks nice. Thank you. So yeah, I can just start with a quick introduction. It was mentioned that at the beginning stage we offer like two options in terms of design. One of them was newest Drupal 10 theme for education, like out of the box solution, and other was our existing project that Peter liked a lot, and I guess it was some combination of two options, but still confirmed by Peter and Wittenborg's team.
Yeah, I think there's. I mean, you as a school, you have you've got two choices to go with. Sometimes, obviously, as an institute or a school or a company or any business, you have a brand question as well. So should you stick with the brand that you've developed or you are developing, or do you want to use your website to totally rebrand yourself? I've been involved actually in a University of Applied Sciences as well, but use the website to completely rebrand themselves. So they actually tried a new website concept at the same time that they changed their name, their colors, their logos, and so that's also possible. But obviously, in a situation where we were doing a transition from an old website to a new website, but still wanting to keep a trusted look and feel, that has a big influence on your decision making at that moment. So it really depends on, first of all, defining, maybe that's going back to the very beginning again, really defining what are the reasons that you are engaging in a team to create a new website. Are you creating a new brand, new products, a new outlook, a new market, or are you improving your technology and improving actually what you had originally?
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. And I would like to add that it was a real pleasure to discuss, and even something new for us, for our team, when we were working on designs on this Figma user journeys. We, from one perspective, we offer something that we already know, but we also learned a lot from Peter's point of view, how we can make it better from perspectives of end user, of visitors of business school's website. So yeah, thank you everyone for your questions. It was a really cool and productive discussion. Just a reminder, we will share later with you the meeting recording and ultimate checklist of website accessibility. And please feel free to reach us at any moment if you have any additional questions that stayed uncovered our webinar. Here is the links and QR codes to my and Peter's profiles on LinkedIn. Again, thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this session was helpful and insightful for you, and let's stay connected.
Thank you, Stan.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead, everyone.
Yep. Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye.